Hi guys, welcome to my newest video for today. For today's video I'm going to be doing my DVD Blu-ray update for August 2019, and I know I said in my July update that I needed to slow down on the buying. That did not happen this month because there were a lot of really good deals and I'm weak, and this update is a bit bigger than I was expecting it to be, so I'm just going to get straight into it and starting off with the TV shows because I did get quite a few this month. So starting off with, I have some that I got from Sanity, and I got, actually one was a reacquisition because I've been trying to get this show back into my collection because it was one of the ones that was a victim of the 2014 TV show purge. So I went ahead and got Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 3. These are actually different covers to the ones that I did initially have, but I actually quite like the new reissue ones for this, so I don't mind that there's not an exact replica of the DVDs I had before. So yeah, I went ahead and got Season 3 because I have actually been really feeling a Buffy rewatch because it's been ages since I've seen it, and I've never actually done a rewatch of the show since I initially watched it, which is like going back, when did I watch it? I think it was like 2009, maybe, it was like 2009, 2010 I think was when I was watching it. But yeah, it's been a while, and yeah, I've been really feeling like giving this another watch, so hopefully can collect the DVDs again, and yeah, at one point I can sit down and finally rewatch this show, so it is one of my favourites. So yeah, so I got Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 3, and then I finally added to my Criminal Minds collection because I've had up to Season 10 for ages, and I did actually watch this season as it was airing, and that's Season 11, because I kind of fell off the bandwagon with Criminal Minds, because at one point I was like super obsessed with the show when I was getting into it, and then when Thomas Gibson got fired, I didn't really keep up with it after that. I think I watched the first 2 episodes of Season 12 and then I didn't continue on with it because I know it's been announced that Season 15 is the final season of Criminal Minds. I don't know if I'm going to get caught up in time for Season 15 because I have actually started rewatching rewatching the first 2 episodes of Season 12, and then I'm hoping to actually finally catch up on those last few seasons that I missed. And yeah, because I was planning initially to do a massive rewatch of the show, and then I thought, no, I'll just wait until all the seasons are out, and then I'll do a rewatch that way. So yeah, I got Criminal Minds Season 11, and then also I got The Crown Season 2. So because yeah, I got Season 1 a couple of months ago. I know these are on Netflix, but I like to support physical media, so I went ahead and just added the second season to the collection because yeah, I really do enjoy this show, and I'm really looking forward to Season 3 in November. So it'll be different without Claire Foy and Matt Smith, but I'm really curious to see how the next couple of seasons are going to go with Olivia Colman. So yeah, went ahead and got The Crown at Season 2, and then this was the next 2 I have is actually a deal that I really couldn't pass up because it was ridiculously cheap, and for this show it was, yeah, I very rarely see it for this price. So because I'm just going to show, I got Doctor Who Series 11 and Doctor Who Resolution. So because I hadn't picked up the latest series on for my collection, and because I don't tend to pick these up straight away because I like to wait until they're at a decent price, and Series 11 dropped to like $21, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and grab you while you're that price, because I think even now on Amazon it's like $34, which is still pretty good, but like $21 for a season of Doctor Who and on Blu-ray, I was like, yeah, I'm going to grab that. So yeah, I got that, and then I also got a Resolution, which was the New Year's special, which I think I paid like $6 for it. So yeah, I was quite happy with this price, and yeah, added another season you know, of Doctor Who to the collection, because I'm still a fan of the show. I actually did enjoy Series 11, and I'm looking forward to Series 12 whenever that's coming back next year. So yeah, got these two. So at some point I'm probably not going to do a rewatch of the classic Who. I might just rewatch the new Who, because it's been a while since I've even done that. So I keep trying to start like a massive marathon, and then I never finish it. So I may just stick to like for the next time I sit down and watch like my collection, I might just watch the new Who, and then, you know, I may backtrack and go to the classic Who. But yeah, because I've been meaning to do a proper rewatch, but it's like, because I haven't done one since the 50th, like when in the lead up to the 50th anniversary. So at the rate I'm going, it's probably not going to be till the 60th anniversary. So so yeah, but anyway, I'm rambling a bit, but that's Doctor Who Series 11 and Resolution. And this one was a total random pickup. I had to get this off eBay because it's out of print, and it was actually quite pricey on eBay, but I managed to find it, like, because it was one where it was being, like, you could bid on it, and it's probably a little bit more than I was willing to pay, but it was about the cheapest I could find it. And there is a bit of a story why I actually went ahead and wanted to get it, but it's HR Puff and Stuff, the complete series. I've actually wanted this in my collection because I used to watch the reruns on Nickelodeon. I think that's where they were in Australia, like in Australia in the 90s. And yeah, I've just lately been feeling the urge to just rewatch this. And then I was on Pop Culture, which is a Funko Pop site here in Australia, and I was looking at the newer like releases, and I was finally catching up on the summer exclusives. And I saw there was a Funko Pop of HR Puff and Stuff, and that sort of spurred. I was like, oh, I want the series, like to watch the series, and yeah, went on eBay and got it. And because I am going to be doing a Funko Pop haul probably after I film this video, because I'm pre-filming. So but yeah, spoiler alert, I did get HR Puff and Stuff, but yeah, I have started rewatching this, and it's like a total nostalgia like trip. It's just so much fun, and yeah, I watched the first disc, and I'm looking, because there's only 17 episodes that were made of the show, and yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing out the remaining of the episodes. Yeah, I'm totally reliving my childhood here, but yeah, I'm really happy that I actually got this in the collection. So that's yeah, HR Puff and Stuff, the complete series. And again, this was a completely random purchase, but they took the show off Netflix, and I did watch a couple of like the first 2 episodes, because I was kind of obsessed with the actors for a while when because when I was first started watching Legends of Tomorrow, and these 2 were like series regulars, which is probably, you know, spoiler for what I'm about to show you. But yeah, I was meaning to watch Prison Break, and then I just never got around to like continuing on with the show, because I think that was sort of in the middle of my TV show slump. And this was like $50 off on Amazon Australia, and I basically went ahead and grabbed it because it was on the complete series on Blu-ray, and that is Prison Break. So because actually, incidentally, because obviously talking about Wentworth Miller and Dominic, is it Purcell? Is that how you pronounce his name? Yeah, he was like obviously Wentworth Miller's not on Legends anymore, like or in the like Arrowverse thing, but because Dominic Purcell plays Mick Rory, and he's like my favourite character on the show. It's yeah, so I've been meaning to actually get like properly invested in Prison Break, and this is the complete series plus the event series, and it was just too good of a price to pass up, and I wanted it. So yeah, so as I said, I've only seen the first 2 episodes, but yeah, because I was actually checked on on Netflix, and they took it off, so it's sort of like I can't watch it on streaming. At least I'm pretty sure it's not on streaming services in Australia anymore, like at the moment. But I thought at least this way I have it. It may take me 5 years to get to it, but I will get to it eventually. So yeah, so that's Prison Break, the complete series. And they were all the TV shows that I picked up. So now moving on to the movies. And the first movie I have is a blind buy, but it's one that I've been curious to check out, and that is Can You Ever Forgive Me? I don't really know too much about it, but it got a bit of buzz at the Oscars, and yeah, it seems like it could be a interesting movie to watch. So yeah, I thought I would give this a try. So that's yeah, Can You Ever Forgive Me? And then I have one that was a blind buy, but I have actually seen it, and I did actually quite enjoy it. So that was The Front Runner with Hugh Jackman. I kind of want to, even though, like I said, I did enjoy it, but and I will explain a bit more, because I am planning on bringing back my monthly reviews series that I used to do on my channel. This one's a bit different to my actual film wrap-ups, but I'll explain that obviously once I get to making those videos. But yeah, I kind of wanted more from the actual fallout of the scandal, because it sort of doesn't really, it's not the main focus of the actual story. I found like you kind of had, I mean, yeah, you got the fallout in the press and all of that, and you had all of the debate on, you know, when is it right for you know, a public figure's private life to become you know, the news and things like that. And I really liked that part of it, but then in the middle part I really enjoyed. But yeah, the start and sort of the end I felt were like not as good. But yeah, I did end up quite enjoying this film, and yeah, as I said, I'll explain more when I do the August reviews. But yeah, so that's The Front Runner. And then a couple of films that I have seen and I enjoyed and wanted to add to the collection. I got The Hitman's Bodyguard, which I watched, actually I watched last month. I watched this on Stan, and yeah, I ended up enjoying this actually a lot more than what I thought I would. And yeah, this ended up just being a lot of fun, like a fun comedy action movie. And yeah, so I went ahead and picked this up for the collection. And again, another one that's I just had a lot of fun with, and you know, fun way to spend a couple of hours, because I did see this at the cinema. I haven't actually seen it since, but I did enjoy it when I watched it last year, and that is Rampage. Yeah, I liked it, so yeah, went ahead and picked it up. So yeah, Rampage. And then I got a couple of newer releases as well, and that is, first one is one I've actually started watching, and then I got interrupted and I haven't actually gone back to finishing it, because I got The Aftermath, which is like a post-World War II drama with Keira Knightley. And like I wanted, like, well, the first half hour, because I've seen like about the first half hour of this, and yeah, I'm intrigued enough to want to keep going, because I mean, I would have, even if I wasn't enjoying it, I'm one of those people, like, if I start a film I have to sort of finish it to see what happens. I'm not yeah, I just can't switch off a film if I've started it. So I will get back to it, because yeah, I'm kind of curious to see where it's going to go. But yeah, this was out at my local cinema did get this, but I just never went round to like seeing it, and so I went ahead and picked this up as a blind buy. But yeah, so I have The Aftermath, which I've sort of started watching. I need to get back to it. So and then one I have seen, and also it's my third 4K title pickup, so I'm slowly starting to build a collection of them, and that is Ralph Breaks the Internet. I did actually quite enjoy this movie when I watched it earlier in the year, so I never got to it at the cinema, so I dusty. yeah, I never got to it at the cinema like when it came out, and I've been, like, I'd wanted to see it, but yeah, it just never happened. But yeah, I found the whole internet aspect of it quite interesting, but it wasn't as good as, like, the first one I found, and I was sort of missing the main characters from, I mean, yeah, it had Ralph and Vanellope, yeah, like, I do enjoy their characters, like, relationship and that, but I sort of missed the characters from the first film, and yeah, that was sort of where I found it a bit lacking, but I still enjoy it. I thought it was a very good sequel, so yeah, obviously, because I wanted it to add to the collection, and yeah, I picked it up on 4K, so that's Ralph Breaks the Internet. And then sort of like the last few here, I actually got as part of a buy two get one free. So the first bunch are actually ones I've all seen. So I got Grace of Monaco, I think that's how to say it. I watched this on Netflix, I think, a couple of years ago, and yeah, I quite enjoyed it, because it's about sort of the story of Grace Kelly, and she's sort of, I mean, at this point she is part of the like, she is part of the, like, this is the money, like she's part of Monaco's royal family, and then yeah, and she's considering going back to acting and to be in an Alfred Hitchcock movie. And yeah, I thought this one was quite good, so when I saw it as part of this deal, I thought to finally go ahead and pick it up for the collection. So that's yeah, Grace of Monaco. And then another film about another like, royalty, and that is The Favourite, which of course Olivia Colman won Best Actress for. I haven't seen The Wife yet, so I can't say whether she deserved it over Glenn Close, but because I know they were, like, the two main, like, front runners for the Oscars. But I did enjoy this, but I think I hyped it up too much, because everyone was, I think this was, like, sort of this year's La La Land for me, because everyone was hyping it up so much, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to see it. And then I finally watched it, and I was like, it's good, but not, like, the most amazing movie ever. So I'm hoping on rewatch that I will enjoy it a lot more, because that's what happened with La La Land. I enjoyed that movie, like, and as I rewatch it, I enjoy it more and more, and I'm hoping that's what happens with The Favourite. So yeah, I went ahead and got this to the collection. And then another one, I haven't seen it since I saw it in the cinema, like, back in 2016, but I do remember quite enjoying it, and that was Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Sort of Tina Fey's a journalist, and she's covering, like, I think it's in the early years of the war in Afghanistan, like, it's sort of that, and yeah, it's sort of her journey there, and the, like, people she meets and everything that happens. So yeah, I remember enjoying it, but it's been a while since I've seen it. So yeah, curious to give this one a rewatch. So that's Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. And then I got 3 movies that I haven't seen. So the first one was Instant Family. Now, this one wasn't initially on my radar, because I know it came out at the start of the year, and like, it got decent reviews and that, and sort of intrigued, but yeah, I wasn't like, you know what, I don't really feel the need to see it. And then lately it's sort of been a movie I've been like, you know what, I wouldn't mind actually giving this a watch. So yeah, picked it up and thought I would see what I think. So that's Instant Family. And this one was a complete blind buy. Like, I think I've heard the title, and I knew like, who was in it, but I don't know anything else about it. And that was Last Days in the Desert, and it's Ewan McGregor. I think he's playing both Jesus and the devil, so I'm kind of curious to see how this one goes. Yeah, it's basically when he spent 40 days in the desert, hence Last Days in the Desert. But yeah, I really don't know anything else about this movie. I just was browsing the shelves and I went, okay, I'm sort of familiar with this title, and then yeah, Ewan McGregor was in it, so I went, okay, I'm going to pick it up and give this a try. So yeah, I'm sort of curious to see how this one is, because like, I'm not like very religious, but I do actually like these kind of like movies. So and you know, plus as I said, Ewan McGregor is in this, so yeah, that's Last Days in the Desert. And then I have one that's actually been a film on my radar for quite a while, because I've heard it being talked about like on YouTube and that, and then it's one I've sort of been like, yeah, quite interested in seeing, but I don't think it's had a release in Australia, or if it was, it's been like out of print. And then yeah, this one happened to be part of the buy two get one free deal, so I went ahead and picked up Starman. I don't really know too much about this, but this seems like a type of film I would enjoy. So yeah, it's by John Carpenter. So it's one of his films like that I haven't actually seen. So yeah, I'm curious to give this one a try. So it was probably the one I was most excited to find in the buy two get one free deal, because I was like, oh, I've been wanting to see this movie, and yeah, so I went ahead and picked it up to watch. So it's Starman. And then I have 2 new releases that came out in this past month, and the first one is going to be a no-brainer, because of course I picked up Avengers Endgame, because I was playing, and I think I am still actually going to do a like continue my rewatch of the MCU films, but I really couldn't wait, and I watched Avengers, like the 2012 film, and then I was like, I really want to watch Endgame. And so yeah, I ended up watching it with my mum and dad, and yeah, it's just as good as I remember it being, and yes, all the feels. Forgot how soul crushing this movie actually is, because I watched it twice at the cinema, and then yeah, obviously yeah, and I've rewatched it since getting Bluray, and this was definitely worth the wait. And of course, now that I've when I resume my MCU rewatch, I can rewatch Avengers Endgame. Not that I need an excuse to watch it, but I'm trying to watch the films in the order like that they came out in, and I'm up to Iron Man 3, so which hopefully going to get around to today, because that's sort of the plan. But because I need to get back into the marathon. So yeah, went ahead and got Avengers Endgame for my collection, and this is also currently my favourite film of 2019, so that one. And then last but certainly not least, I picked up Pokemon Detective Pikachu, because and I have actually rewatched this since getting it, because I was like, I really want to rewatch Detective Pikachu, because I loved this movie at the cinema. It was like so nostalgic, and yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just maybe just made me yeah, I just loved this movie. It was like adorable, and yeah, I just had a lot of fun watching it, and I loved all the different callbacks to the Pokemon franchise, and it's actually made me want to do a like watch Pokemon like the TV show, because I actually have the first season of like Pokemon, and then like Indigo League, and then, which I haven't seen those episodes in years, but this is like making me want to pick them up and watch them. But yeah, I've only ever seen like a handful of the later episodes, so I think most of them are on Netflix if memory serves, but we'll see, because yeah, so as you know, I've got so many TV shows to watch, and not enough hours to watch them in. But anyway, I'm digressing here. But I just said I did pick up this Pokemon Detective Pikachu, and yeah, said rewatched it, still loved it. It's yeah, I love Pikachu. He's my favorite Pokemon. So you know, of course, a movie about Pikachu. I was always going to get behind, and yeah, I just ended up loving it a whole lot more than what I thought I would. Yes, because I remember watching this back at the cinema, and sort of towards the end, when all the main reveals were happening, and I'm watching it, and then I'm starting to get like teary-eyed, and I'm like, am I going to start crying in a Pokemon movie? And I was like, even though to be fair, I remember 12-year-old me getting quite teary-eyed when I was watching Pokemon the first movie, so it might just be yeah, so not much has changed there, but yeah, so I think at this point I'm just yeah, rambling, so I'm going to stop it here, but I did pick this up because, yeah, I just really wanted to rewatch it again, so yeah, so Pokemon Detective Pikachu, that one, and that is everything that I picked up in the month of August. I know, yeah, as I keep saying, I need to slow down with the buying because, you know, I'm going to be I'll run out of room, and, you know, I've already got a catalogue of stuff to catch up on, but it's my weakness. Well, one of my weaknesses anyway. It's I just like buying movies and TV shows, and yeah. So I'm going to just stop it here. I do have some, because I know I've only just been doing these like DVD Blu-ray updates for the past few months, but because I've sort of been in a YouTube slump, but I think I'm starting to come out of it, and I do have some ideas for videos that I would like to film. So there's a couple that I know are definitely getting filmed, and yeah, if I get around to filming the other ones that I mentioned, well, I suppose you'll see if the video goes up that I did actually film them. So yeah, so I'm just going to stop it here. So thank you guys for watching, and until my next video, I will see you guys next time. Bye!